Dream big, work hard. This is a colouring page which I literally just created here in Ideogram. I actually went ahead and created 6 different ones, and by using a very similar style. Now what I do in today's video is show you step by step and take you through the process on how I created these. So what we're going to be using is my quotes colouring page prompt generator. Now this generates structured and detailed prompts for creating quote colouring pages in Ideogram. Now this is part of my ultimate colouring page prompt generator, which is just here. If you want to check this out, there will be a link down in the description. Please note that this is only available to purchase until the 27th of September, which is next Friday. Now after that, it won't be available again until November. Now with this, you actually get 5 GPTs. These are all different types of colouring page prompt generators, and I have a brand new one coming out Friday, which converts your colouring page prompts into colouring book cover prompts. But nonetheless, there's actually 2 different ways on how we can use this generator. The first way, we can simply just put in what we want just here, and then it's also going to generate the quote with the prompt as well. The second way to do it is by creating your own quotes. Now there's lots of different ways that we can do this, but we can actually use a GPT here in ChatGPT as well. So if we come over to the Explore tab, just here on the left hand side, it's going to bring you to here, where we can explore GPTs. And if you type in pun, there's lots of different ones that we can use. Now if I'm doing it this way, 9 times out of 10 I go with the one by Merch Momentum. Once you open this, it's going to bring you to the GPT where you just want to input what you want. Now for this example, I've actually put motivational for women, and we've got 25 motivational puns just here. What you can do if you don't like them, you can simply just put more. It's going to get more. If you want to make them shorter, you can put more but make shorter as well, and you just get lots of different puns / quotes that you can then go and use in your colouring book. So what we're going to do is probably choose 6 of these to run through my prompt generator. So let's go ahead and take one of these. We'll go with this Queens Don't Quit. So all we're going to do is copy that, come over to the GPT and simply put, please use this quote, and then we're going to plug that in there. We're going to click enter, and now we'll get a fully formatted colouring page prompt, which we can then take over to Ideogram to start creating colouring pages. Now if you don't know anything about my prompt generator, this one, my quote one, let me just explain a little bit about this. So this first part is all about the font and the font style. The second part is all about the illustration, and then the third part is all about the surrounding elements as well. But now what we can do is simply take this, like so. We've copied the prompt, and now we're going to come over to Ideogram. So all we're going to do is plug that in there. We're going to use Magic Prompt as well, so make sure that's enabled, because this gives you variations of this prompt as well, which some of them actually turn out extremely well. We're going to make sure the model is on 2.1, which is just here, and then we're also going to choose rendering and turbo. Now why is that? Well, if we look down here, turbo uses 1 credit, but if we have it on the default, it actually uses 2. So always make sure you have it on turbo. We're going to click generate, and while that's doing that, we're simply going to come back over to the prompt generator and just put another with the same quote. Now what I'm doing here is practically fishing for a certain style. So I do this a few different times. I then take the prompts over to create a few different variations, and then I find the style that I like, and then I can use that style throughout the book. So let's do that another. We'll only do this 3 times because I don't want this video to be mega long. But let's just do this one more time. We'll take a look at the pages generated to see if there's a certain style that we kind of like. Now the good thing about this prompt generator, once you've found a style that you like, you can use that on all of your pages, which means the whole book is going to be congruent. And then we can actually take that prompt, convert it into a colouring book cover prompt as well with my new generator, which is going to be released this Friday. Let's click generate, and then we're going to take a look. And there we go. Let's just refresh the page for a minute, just like that. Let's click on these and let's take a quick look. So I quite like this with the fonts. This one looks good as well. These two I don't really like, but if we look down here, because we use magic prompt, we're getting variations in these prompts. Let's go ahead and take a look at the other ones as well. I quite like this, but it's not very girly, womanly, so I probably wouldn't use that. So I don't like any of these ones, so we wouldn't use that. So what we're going to do is delete this. And let's take a look at this one. So I don't really like any of these either. So what we're going to do is delete this one as well, just like that. Let's go back to here. Again, I probably would put in the prompt or get variations of the prompt a few more times to get a few more different styles, but I quite like these two. So let's go with this one. What we're now going to do is copy this magic prompt, and then we're going to come back over to the GPT, and we're just going to plug that in there like so. And now let's come back over to all of these ones that we have just here, and let's choose another. So we're going to go with fearless and flawless. I quite like this, so we're going to copy, come back over to the GPT, and at the beginning we're going to put use this quote. We're going to plug that in there, and then we're going to also put please use this style font. Then we're going to click enter, and now we should get a prompt using this quote, this fearless and flawless, but now in the style of this font just here, which is elegant script and regal flowing style. Don't know if I said that wrong, but nonetheless, let's take a look. It's written in bold, elegant script with a flowing, confident lines. Now, it's not exactly the same, but it is the same essence, because we have bold here, elegant script, with a flowing style, and it has with flowing, confident lines. So this should be good. So what we're going to do is now take this, we're going to copy that, we're going to come back over to Ideogram, and now we're going to plug that in here as well. Let's click generate, let's come back over to the puns, let's take a new one, so chase dreams, not drama. We're going to go with this one as well. We're going to come back over to the GPT, another in the same style, but using this quote. And then we're going to plug the quotes there, and now we'll get another prompt. And then we can take this one over as well. Now, while that's doing that, let's come back over to Ideogram. We didn't actually choose the page that we liked on this one. So let's go ahead and remix this. We're going to do 100% magic prompt off and click remix. Now I do this so my 4 generations generated is all exactly the same colouring page. That way I don't have to go into each individual page on my profile to find the colouring pages, because I know at a glance that they're all exactly the same. So we're going to click remix, and I am going to delete this. Now I do believe you can't delete images on a free plan. I believe, I can't remember what the plan's called, but you do need a certain plan to actually delete your images. And I do this as I go along, just to keep everything cleaned up. Now if we take a look at this, this is nice, I like that, but I don't actually like this woman. I don't want the woman in it, I'd rather have just the flowers. So what we're going to do is just come back over to here, we're going to take this one, we're going to come back over to Ideogram, we're going to plug that in there, we'll click on, we're actually going to get rid of this one because I don't like the woman, and what we're going to do is come back over to here, we're going to take that original prompt and put please remove the woman and just have flowers. So we're going to plug that in there, and now we should get a better prompt for this. Now let's come back over to Ideogram as well and take a look just here. So we're actually getting quite a lot with people in this. I don't want that because it doesn't look as good as just other elements. So let's come back over to here. We're going to take this one like so. We're going to plug this in here as well. Let's paste that in there. Let's click generate. Let's come back over to here and let's get a new pun. So stay fierce, stay fabulous. Let's take this. We're going to copy. We're going to put another but use this quote and only have flowers as the illustration. Now let's click that. Let's come back over to Ideogram and take a look at this one. This is looking better. I quite like this one, so we're going to use this. Let's remix. Let's turn off. Let's delete this, like so. Let's refresh the page and let's see what we got. So this is looking good. So let's come back over to here. Let's take this new one. We're going to copy this. We're going to come back over to Ideogram. We're going to plug that in there. Magic prompt on. Generate. Let's take a new pun as well. Strong women, stronger futures. I really like that. So we're going to copy that and we're going to plug that in there. And we're just going to put another, but use this quote, just like that. We'll click enter. Let's come back over to the pun. Let's choose another one. Rise, shine, and conquer. We're going to copy this. We're going to come over. We'll do this as well. And then we'll do another one. So let's take this part, just like that. Plug that in there as well. Click enter. And now let's take these over to Ideogram. So we're going to copy. Come over, we're going to plug that in there as well. Click generate. Let's come over and grab this one as well, just like so. We'll copy, come to Ideogram, plug that in there, click generate. Let's do one more as well. So let's come over to the puns. Dream big, work hard. Let's take this one, we'll copy, come over to the GPT, we'll plug that in there. We'll take this bit as well, just like that. And let's generate this as well and take that one over to Ideogram. So let's just give this a second as well. And there we go. And as you can see, it's still using that bold, elegant script and flowing. So let's take this, we're going to copy, and then we can take a look at all of the pages which have been generated. So let's click generate and let's see what we've got. So we've already done this one, I believe. All these are the same. Now on here, as you can see, what we did was use the remix feature and use 100%. And if we go through the pages, we can see that some of them are slightly different. Some of them have mistakes. Like if we look here, that doesn't quite look right. That doesn't look right. That doesn't look right. That doesn't look right. So if I were to use this, I could just simply edit that out. I do have a little video all about that on how I do that with Kittle. What I'll do is link that down in the description. But if we look at another page, we can see some pages aren't as bad as each other. So this is just another reason why I like to use 4 variations of the same page. Now let's take a look at this one. Stay fierce and fabulous. That looks really good. So what we're going to do is remix this. So we'll click off, we'll click remix, then we're going to click delete. Then we'll move on to the second one just here. Strong, stronger. So this is actually missed out. I really like this. That's a shame. But this is actually missed out the strong women, stronger futures. So what we're going to do is regenerate this, see if it sorts it out, but we're going to use that magic prompt. And then we'll go ahead and delete this one as well. Let's just go ahead and refresh the page to sort out this as well, just like that. Let's come onto here. Rise, shine, conquer. That looks really, really good. I quite like that. This one's added blue, but I like this one the most. What we're going to do is remix this one. Click off, click remix, and we'll delete this one as well. Then we'll come onto this one. So dream big, work hard. This looks absolutely flawless. That one looks good. That one not so much. I really like this one. So we're going to use that one as well. 100% off, and we're going to delete. Then let's take a look at this one again. So that's the one we've actually already done. This looks a little bit faded, but once I convert these to SVGs inside Kittle, they then actually look a lot better. Again, I highly recommend watching the video down below. So strong women, we've actually got it this time. On the previous one, it wasn't in there, so we regenerated the prompt, or regenerated the image. This one actually looks really good. So does this. So out of these two, I really like this one, and I really like this one. Let's go with this one, because I do believe that another one of those colouring pages does have a bold outline like that, so it is going to look pretty good. But let's go ahead and delete that as well. Let's take a look at this one. I'm not too sure about this one now, but we'll take a look at all of them in a second. Dream big, work hard, that one's done, and I believe that's all of them done. So let's go ahead and just quickly reload the page. Couldn't get my words out there, and there we go. So these look the same. This one looks out of place, so I probably wouldn't use that. So let's do another. It was this one. We'll redo the generator with this quote, and then we'll try that again, because if we come back over to Ideogram, it just looks a little bit too busy and it looks a little bit out of place. So let's go ahead and delete that. Let's come back over to here. Let's go ahead and copy this just like so. But this is what it's all about: creating your pages, making sure they look congruent, making sure they're good quality, making sure that you get rid of all the mistakes as well when you edit them, and just making good quality coloring pages. So let's reload the page again, and let's give this one a second as well. So right off the bat, these three look really good. If we take a look at this, there's still a little bit too much going on, and it's not following the style that I want. It looks good, but if we do this at 100%, let's go ahead and delete this. Let's come back, let's just reload the page again, and we'll take a look to see if it actually fits. Okay, so it does kind of fit in with the same style, so I probably would be happy with that. These two look slightly out of place, so what I probably would do is get rid of this original one, like so. Let's come back over to the puns, and let's take one of these. We'll take this one, we'll come over to the generator, we'll plug that in there, and we'll use that, and we'll just generate another. But again, don't be in a rush to create all of your colouring pages. Yes, because of this GPT, this prompt generator, we can create them really, really quick, but you still want that quality control. And again, you want all of your pages to be congruent. Now, congruent just meaning following the same style, because you don't want to have a style like this, and then one of the colouring pages in the book looks out of place, because it just doesn't look right. So again, quality control, and make sure that all of your pages are congruent. Now, looking at this, I'm actually quite happy with that one. That does fit in with the rest as well. Let's go ahead and take a look at this. This one is actually losing that style, so let's put another using the same quote. But this is what I mean when I say quality control. These do not look in keeping with the other colouring pages, so I wouldn't want that in a colouring book. So if we come back over to here, now let's take this, we're going to copy, come back over to Ideogram, and hopefully this one will look a lot better. Now let's go ahead and refresh the page as well to make sure everything's lined up. Let's give this a second, and there we go. So this looks okay. Again, not in the same keeping. This one looks better. Let's go ahead and actually use the magic prompt on that one. Let's now go ahead and delete this as well. And let's refresh the page just like that. And there we go. So this is looking better. I really like this one, so we might keep that. This bit looks slightly out of place, so does that. So what we could do is just edit that out when we actually edit the colouring pages. Or we could use the remix feature, turn this down to around about 20, use magic prompt on, and now we're going to remix. Now what that's going to do is use this as a base, so we're going to get a very similar page, but with variations. So now if we take a look, it's still got them on there. I don't want that. It looks a bit better on this one. This one I could actually completely edit out because it's not touching the sides, so I would probably keep that one. So with that, let's now remix this. Let's turn that all the way up to 100, magic prompt off. Let's go ahead and delete this, and let's delete that one as well. We'll refresh the page, and I think that's it. But I'd keep going through this process, creating enough pages for a colouring book. Now with me, depending on the type that I'm creating, that can be anywhere from 30 to 50 pages. So I'd keep repeating this until I've created all of my colouring pages. But I'm quite happy with that. If we take a look, it does look pretty good. This again can be edited out because it's not touching the side, so we could easily erase that. All this looks good as well, and I'm quite happy with that. If we take a look at this one looks good as well. There's a little mistake there, that should be edited out, so could this as well. And I'm actually quite happy with all of these. But you can see just how easier it is to make colouring pages with my prompt generator. Now again, if you do want to come and check this out, there is going to be a link down in the description for this. Remember, you do actually get 5 different GPTs, and there's a brand new one dropping this Friday. Just be aware that it won't be available to purchase after the 27th of September all the way up to November. But nonetheless, if you want to come and check it out, there will be a link down below. Now, what I'm also going to actually do, which I almost forgot to say, is I'll also put these on my public profile just here. So you can come through and play around with the prompts as well if you want to. And I'll also add a link to my profile down in the description. Now, if you found this video helpful at all, then please consider giving me a like, as it really helps out the channel. And if you're not too sure what to watch next, click right here and watch this playlist.